So welcome. I'm gonna start recording and we start our class. Okay, well, let's see. So we're going to see this difference between the present perfect and the past, sorry, the past perfect and simple past. Okay, and we continue with the narrative tenses. That's the topic that we saw in the last class, right? So in the past perfect, remember that past perfect and simple past, they are both for events that are in the past. Okay, but okay, let's imagine that you have two events. So which of these, past perfect or simple past, which of these is for them oldest event? Okay, so imagine I have a sentence. In this sentence, I have two events or two actions. So the oldest uses this past perfect or uses the simple past?
Past perfect.
Yes, very well. So past perfect is for an action in the past that happened before one another. All right. For example, check this sentence. So on one hand, you have the young man's parents call the police. All right. Then you have here a sequence adverb, right? The sequence adverb in this case is after. Okay. So after, let's say that after is what makes the sentence be divided in two parts. So you have one part of the sentence is on the, let's say, on the left side, the other one is on the right side. And then you say had been gone for 3 days. So again, we analyze the sentence and we have on one hand, the young man's parents called the police. The other event is that they went, well, we use expression. For example, when you say I have gone, right? Remember in this case, I have gone doesn't mean that you went somewhere, okay? I have gone means that you are not longer there, right? If you want to use the verb go to say that you went to other places, well, that's not the way it is, right? For example, you can say I have gone to China, right? You don't use gone, you use been. I have been to China, because when you say I have gone, it means I'm not longer there, right? I have gone means me he ido, me he marchado, ya no estoy, right? So when we want to say that we went somewhere, we went to a place, right? So we are going to use the verb been, right? So the sentence we translate it says, los padres del hombre, del joven, llamaron a la policía después de que él se había ido por 3 días. All right. So what happened first? This is the event that happened first. Entonces, aunque ambos eventos están en el pasado, este fue el que sucedió primero, right? So we would use the past perfect for something that happened previously, another sentence. So it's just, okay, I have this action, it happened before, another action, right? Is the past of the past. Yes, okay. And we can check the next sentence. So it also says the boy had drunk the liquid from all the contact lens cases when they found him. I think it will make sense when we read the listen, right? Because maybe no, it doesn't make sense right now, but we're going to listen to it. So it says, the boy had drunk, right? The liquid. Ok. Entonces, aquí tenemos igual dos eventos que los separa un adverbio, right? So in this case, we have when. Okay. And the next one is when they found him. I don't know what this means, right? I mean, it's like, it's weird, right? They will have drawn the liquid from all contact lens cases. I think it will make sense when we listen to this activity. Okay, but again, I have two events. This one was before this another one. Él había bebido el líquido antes de que lo encontrara. So that's why I'm using the past perfect in this case. Okay, so that's the use of the past perfect, and we're going to practice a little bit. So what is the difference between the past perfect and the simple past? It's just which one happened before one another. All right. So you have to think, okay, which sentence happened first? And to that sentence that happened first, or that event that happened first, you assign the simple past. Okay, well, now here we're going to listen because now many of these sentences don't make sense and are a little bit weird. Here we have survival story. All right, some of you, for example, told me that you lived difficult situations, for example, that you are survivors from an earthquake. I heard that Miguel, for example, survived the earthquake in Mexico City. And maybe some of you also have survived like some other dangerous or situations or natural phenomena. Okay, and here we're also going to learn vocabulary like I mean, this is like survival essentials, but actually I'm going to show you some vocabulary that you need to travel, all right, in like things you need to travel with. Okay, very well. So let's start. I'm going to play this audio. It says, listen to two friends discussing a new story. Hold on. This part, right? A new story about a hiker. You know what a hiker is? Do you know what a hiker is?
No, teacher.
Do you know the verb hike?
Golpear.
No, that's hit, I think. Yeah.
No.
Or go hiking.
Como andar.
Como escalar.
Well, it's not like climbing, but hiking is walking in the forest, in the nature. That's go hiking. Yeah. Go hiking is just walking in the nature. So this is a hiker. And well, no, you need to listen to it and tell me if it's a sad story or a happy story. All right. Well, I'm going to play it. Okay, 1 second.
CD.
Okay, so here we go. 1 sec. Page 78.
Page 97. Page 88. Page 80. Exercise 3. Page 79. Grammar. Unit 8.
Okay, I got it. So let's listen to it.
Survival by all means. Page 78. Listening. Survival story.
Did you see that story on the news about the English kid in Australia?
No. What was it about?
Well, this guy Sam was traveling around Australia and working on a ranch in Queensland in the outback, where it's just desert and incredibly hot. And anyway, one morning he decided to go out running.
Yeah? What happened?
He got lost. He couldn't find his way back to the ranch. The temperature was about 40 degrees Celsius, and he only had one bottle of water in his backpack.
But how had he gotten lost in the first place?
He was running and listening to music on his MP3 player, and then suddenly, he realized he was lost. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know how to get back to the house.
So what happened? Had he brought any food?
No, nothing. And no map or compass. Just some sunglasses and sunscreen, and the bottle of water. He hadn't planned on being out long. He didn't have much with him. But then he discovered in his backpack that he had lots of packs of contact lenses. His father had put them in the backpack before Sam left England.
Contact lenses? But he couldn't eat contact lenses.
No, but he could drink the liquid that the lenses were in.
That's amazing.
There were so many packs of contact lenses that he could drink a lot of liquid.
So what happened in the end?
Well, when his family in the UK didn't hear from him, they called the emergency services in Australia. They didn't know what had happened. Maybe he had been killed in a landslide. Maybe a wild animal had hurt him. They didn't know. He hadn't told anyone where he was going.
Wow. Scary.
Yeah, so then people searched for him by car, but in the end, a rescue helicopter found him almost 21 kilometers away from the ranch.
That's an incredible story.
He had been out there for 3 days, and everybody thought he had died.
And he was okay?
Yes. At first, the doctors couldn't understand how he had survived. But of course, it was because of the contact lens fluid.
Okay, so how did it go? Did you understand the story? Let's see how many questions you can answer. Okay, so what's the climate in Queensland like?
Forest,
Hot.
Sorry,
forest Celsius.
can you repeat that again?
It's incredible hot.
And it's just desert. Celsius.
I can hear you. Angela, can you please say it?
Mhm. It's just desert and incredible hot.
Okay, very well. So this is a dessert. Desertic. Very well. What happened when the hiker was running out? Oh no, was out running.
Only sunscreen and water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
He lost.
He got lost. What was the weather like? Check right here. We have two words. We have climate and we have weather. What is the difference? Climate is the usual weather in a place. Okay, climate is what is always like that, and weather is just on that day. For example, I can tell you the climate. The climate, for example, in in Canada, no? In Canada, it's I don't know, in any city, Vancouver. So the climate is cloudy, and cold. Okay, this is general, right? That means that it's always like that, right? But we also have weather. What was the weather like? So the weather is just on a specific day, right? For example, that day in Vancouver was sunny, right? Was sunny. So the climate, you use it when it's something in general, the climate in general in a place. And the weather is just that on a specific day. So now you can tell me, number 3, what was the weather like?
degrees Celsius.
Okay, very well. That's the temperature. And the weather
Hot.
was hot. Okay. So what had Sam brought with him? And maybe you can see some of these things are also in this, in the picture, right?
A bottle of water and sunscreen.
Or
Mhm. Okay, bottle of
Um,
water. Yes, sunscreen. What is sunscreen, guys?
protector solar.
protector solar.
Exactly. Excellent. What else did he bring with him?
Sunglasses.
Okay, the sunglasses. Well, they're not in this picture. Packs off.
Contact lenses.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's about the contact glasses. So how did the contact glasses save him? What did he do with the contact lenses? Well, not the contact lenses, but the liquid.
He could drink the liquid.
Yeah, he drank the liquid from the contact lenses. Well, that doesn't sound the best idea, but that saved him, right? Okay, how did they find him in the end?
Helicopter rescue.
Excellent. How long was he lost? That means for how many days?
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. Very well, guys. Pay a lot of attention. Good. So before continuing, there's some vocabulary that I want to show you that is vocabulary. That is related to traveling. Okay. Very well. So first, we have some words. We have the word travel. We have trip. We have journey, and we have voyage. These 4 words are related to traveling, but they have different meaning. So travel, trip, journey, voyage. What is the difference between them? Let's check it out. So travel is the only of these words that it's a verb. Okay, that means it's an action. So travel is a verb, right? You don't say, it's not possible to say a travel. No, you don't say a travel because travel is not a noun, it's a verb, right? So you can say, in this case, you would use trip. The trip is the next word. So trip in this case is a noun. Okay, so trip is what we would say viaje, right? Travel, viajar, trip, viaje. So yeah, travel cannot be used as a noun and trip cannot be used as a verb, right? So trip is the noun, es un viaje. Journey is also a noun, right? Also as voyage. But what's the difference between these 3 words? Well, trip and journey and voyage, they have some differences. The first one is that trip is talking about the whole experience, experience, toda la experiencia del viaje, right? And journey, it's only let's see, in the transportation. Transportation between A and B, right? The point A and the point B. Okay, so let's explain this further. Imagine that you plan a trip to China, okay? And okay, now you finally travel to China, okay? And you say, someone can ask you, did you like your trip? Your trip in China? Did you like your trip? So if someone asks you, did you like your trip? They are talking if you like China, if you like the places you visited, if you like the pandas, if you like all the experience. Okay. So that's trip. Trip is about the whole experience. Or if you go to Cancun, so if I ask you, did you like your trip? And I'm asking you about the beach, if you like Cocobongo, or if you liked the dolphins, right? So that's the trip. The trip is a whole experience. And journey, it's different. Journey, you're only talking about this transportation between A and B. For example, did you like your journey to China? That means the plane, right? Did you like, was your journey comfortable? I don't know, did you have jet lag? Did you well, okay, or was the plane comfortable? The food was the food good, right? So journey, it's only about the transportation. They both mean viaje. They both can be translated as viaje, right? So the journey or the trip, they both mean viaje. Son sustantivos. But the difference is that this trip is about all your holiday. Es como todas tus vacaciones, todos los días que estuviste en ese viaje, right? And journey is only, they're not talking with journey about the whole experience. With journey, I'm asking you only about how it was from the moment you left your house to the moment you arrived to the hotel or to the country, right? That's what I'm asking about journey, right? Entonces, journey, no hablamos de viaje como en toda la experiencia, sino hablamos solamente del viaje que fue el que te llevó de un lugar a otro, right? So, in between, right? I want to know the experience. That's the difference between trip and journey, right? Okay, so I don't know if it's clear. Do you have any questions about the differences between trip, journey, and travel so far?
No, teacher.
No? Okay. Now, we also have the word voyage. Voyage actually comes from French, right? Viene la expresión bon voyage. Well, voyage, that's the way we pronounce in English. Se pronuncia ligeramente distinto en francés. But voyage is also a noun. También quiere decir el viaje. Now, what is the meaning of voyage? In French, it's pronounced like voyage. Well, the point is, voyage is the same as trip in this case. It's also a noun. You talk about the whole experience, right? Yeah, although when you say, for example, bon voyage or have a good voyage, saying things, you have a good voyage. Entonces es una expresión muy formal, en lugar de have a good trip, right? Y aquí generalmente diríamos have a good journey, buen viaje. ¿Por qué? Porque estamos deseando que la persona llegue bien a su destino. Entonces, generalmente vamos a decir have a good journey y no have a good trip, right? And voyage in this case will be similar to trip. So you can use voyage when in this case will be more like metaphoric. It can be used more for a metaphoric meaning, or it can also be something very formal, right? This form is too formal. It's too formal. Entonces, esto es o muy formal o metafórico, el uso de voyage, at least in English. Okay, so you say, for example, I started my voyage in art at 15. All right. Empecé mi viaje en el arte a los 15. So you're talking about something metaphoric, right? Or you can talk about my spiritual voyage. All right. Mi viaje espiritual or something like that. So you're using this case for something that is more metaphoric. Yeah, it's not common to see voyage as you could find in journey or trip. And maybe it's because voyage is also older. It's older than all of these. So yeah, usually we use voyage in a more metaphoric or formal context, but it's the same as the word trip. Okay, so tell me, do you have any questions about the differences between these verbs, these words? Well, not verbs, because the only verb is this one, but do you have any other questions between these words?
No, teacher.
No. Good. Perfect. Okay, so very well. That's 4 important words related to travel, but we also have some other ones. Okay, so the first one is when you use the expression hit the road. Okay, hit the road. Hit the road is another way of saying to start traveling. Okay, so you can say, I'm gonna hit the road, right? I'm gonna hit the road, quiere decir voy a empezar mi viaje. Vamos a empezar a viajar. Or you can say, let's hit the road. Let's hit the road. Right? Como vamos a empezar a viajar. It's just like a very common expression. Now, hit the road, you can also use it to start your day, right? También hit the road sería como empezar tu día. Like, I don't know, I better hit the road now. Esto es como, I better hit the road now, es como más me vale, o debería empezar a, no sé, levantarme de la cama y empezar mi día. Yeah, that's hit the road. So it has like these 2 meanings. So this is one expression. Okay, very well. So next expression, and you tell me if you have any questions, okay? It's itchy feet. Do you know the meaning of itchy? Do you know the meaning of itchy?
No, teacher.
No? You say I'm itchy, right? Or you say that some part of your body is itchy. For example, my arm is itchy. For example, if a mosquito bit you in some place of your skin, well, you're gonna feel itchy, right? So itchy is that when you te da comezón, right? So I don't know how to describe it, like you say itchy. Cuando algo te da comezón, so you say it's itchy. So in this case, we have itchy feet. This is an expression related to traveling. What do you think is the meaning of itchy feet? Well, it may sound like you have a problem in your feet, like you have some fungus or, but it's not. Okay, so itchy feet, it means like desire to travel. All right, you say, I have itchy feet. It means that tengo ganas de viajar, right? It's like, imagine that you haven't been in vacation for a long time. So you are always staying at home and you say, you know, it's time to go. I want to go. So you have the itchy feet, all right? So itchy feet, you say when you have a desire, a very intense desire to travel. You say, I have itchy feet. It's just an expression, como que con ganas de viajar, right? Yeah, so it's like, como ya hacen falta unas vacaciones, so you would say, I have itchy feet. Yeah. Okay. So I think it makes sense because you want to move your feet. Yeah. Any questions?
No, teacher. Thank you.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I think we also have the next expression desired that is similar to, that is related to travel, that is jump on the bandwagon. Jump on the bandwagon, right? Bandwagon is un vagón, right? In English, you say bandwagon. So when you say jump in the bandwagon, it's a metaphoric way of saying that you start doing something that other people are doing. It's like similar to follow follow everyone like a sheep, como el seguir al rebaño, etc. Right? For example, imagine that you see that your neighbors, they have a Herbalife business, right? Or I don't know, OmniLife or something like this. And you say, oh, they're doing well in their business, so I want to open my Herbalife too. So you open another shop, another Herbalife shop, and then you jump the bandwagon because apparently this person is being successful. Or you're saying, you know, when this was this fever of the Bitcoin, right? That I heard that the person became Bitcoin, and because people saying, if you had bought Bitcoin 10 years ago, you would be millionaire right now, right? So there was a fever for Bitcoins. Entonces decía, si hubieras comprado un Bitcoin hace cuánto tiempo, ya te serías millonario, right? And well, so many people, they downloaded apps. Some people right now trying to mine Bitcoins or do something about it, right? So they are trying to jump on the bandwagon, right? So usually jump on the bandwagon is talking about economic things, right? So you want to open a business or you want to start a job in a place that is already successful, right? Okay, so that's an expression, right? To imitate something successful. Well, successful aparentemente exitoso. Okay, well, that's another expression, right? We also have the next one. For example, you want to go to the beach, you want to go to Cancun, one of these days, you can say to catch some sun, right? I need to catch some sun. So it means like getting tan. Getting tan significa broncearse. So you say, I'm gonna catch some sun. That means that you're going on vacation to the beach. Okay, very well. Now we also have the next expression that is live out. Live out of a suitcase. Live out of a suitcase. So live out of a suitcase, you know, suitcase. What is the meaning of suitcase?
Un traje de baño.
Yeah, so we could say that live out of a suitcase is like, in Spanish we say mochilero, viajar como mochilero, right? I don't know if you've heard this expression, but so when you live out of a suitcase, it means that you travel with just the essentials. So you travel with a low income. No, you don't say income in this case. With a low budget. Viajar a un lado con poco presupuesto, right? So maybe you rent a hostel and you only eat, I don't know, some tuna, and you buy things from the shop and you try not to spend too much money. Well, so that's to live out of the suitcases. Okay. And we could say, well, another expression, okay, I think that will be it. Okay, well, maybe just we have one. That's to fall asleep at the wheel. At the wheel. La expresión sería. You are slept. Okay. You are slept at the wheel. You are slept at the wheel. So the expression at the wheel is al volante. So what do you think is the meaning to be slept at the wheel? When you fall asleep, you can also say fall asleep at the wheel. The wheel is el volante, right? So what do you think is the meaning of this expression? What happens when I'm at the wheel, so I fall asleep? You get it? So use this expression. Yeah, Guzli, you want to say something?
Y es una expresión como cuando estás cansado de algo.
Actually, it's
No
like
relaciono.
literally falling asleep. Como quedarse en las, ¿cómo se dice?
¿Quedarse dormido?
Yeah, but it's like not literal. It's not literal. You use it when the person is being lazy or when they are not paying attention to their job. So you're saying you're asleep at the wheel.
Distraído.
Distracted, yeah. That's like distracted. Yeah, so when a person is not doing their job or they're not paying attention to the work they're doing, so they say you are asleep at the wheel. I was trying to find a Mexican expression we could use. Okay, very well. So now this is some vocabulary that we can use too when we travel. Very well. So now we have this. Okay, we have these vocabulary, survival essentials. Okay, so please look at the pictures and you tell me what you, okay, tell me which of these objects is the one that is on the word. Okay, sunscreen, that's the number one. Please tell me which one is the sunscreen.
Letter A.
Letter I.
Okay, it's really good that you use a verb so that you can remember this vocabulary. So what do you do with the sunscreen?
When I especially in the sun.
Very well, so wear sunscreen. Wear sunscreen. Okay, we say don't forget to wear sunscreen. What can happen if we don't wear any sunscreen and we go to the beach and we spend the whole day in the beach without sunscreen, especially if you are not used to?
We can burn our skin.
Okay, very well, we can get a sunburn. Sunburn, right? If you don't wear a sunscreen, you will get a sunburn. Very well. So always try to, new vocabulary, try to relate it to a verb. Okay. Now, which one in number 2 is a water bottle? I think you see it, right?
Letter A.
Yeah, we can also like
Water.
the thermal, right? The thermal bottle. Yeah. Okay. Very well. So that's essential, right? So I drink from my thermal. Okay. Very well. And the next one, sunglasses. What verb can we use with sunglasses?
Letter G.
G.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
So it's wear sunglasses, exactly, it's letter G. So yeah, this is important if you're in a sunny day, right? Because when you're driving, well, some people are used to, but personally, when I go out, it's too sunny, so I need to wear them so my eyes don't get hurt and you have a better vision. Okay, how about number 4? We say compass. This is a false friend, right? Compass no es un
Letter B.
compass. We have it here, right? Yes, very well. Excellent. Very well. So yeah, is this one, right? La brújula, so we say compass. So we can say, I don't know. I guide myself with a compass. Okay. Very well. So I think we all know, right, how to use a compass. It's important, right? They also say that you can identify is the south, whether you know, right, the cardinal points. How do we say norte in English?
North.
North.
North. Excellent. How do we say sur?
South.
South. Este.
East.
East.
Yes.
Oeste.
West.
West. Exactly. Okay. And then you also can northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, right? You can combine. Okay. So I think that's very important. They say that the one that you get lost is good that you identify where the sun is going, right? So you can know, okay, this is the east, this is the west. So then you can stand there and you can know where the north and where the south is. Okay. Very well. So that's a compass. Have you ever used a compass? Have you ever traveled somewhere and you've needed a compass?
Yes, I do.
Where did you go to the forest?
Yes, in Los Tínamos, Mexico City. It's a big natural park.
Uh-huh. And do you like hiking there? Do you like walking the Dinamos?
Walking with a friend.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've been there. I like it too. Okay. Very well. So next one, it will be number 5, a map, which is
Letter D.
letter E. So right now we have the GPS, right? Instead of a map, we use Google Maps. Okay. Now, which one is a sleeping bag?
Letter C.
Letter C.
Okay, very well. By the way, I forgot to tell you that we say have. The word have can be used as a verb. It's like go, right? So for example, the Google Maps, sometimes the GPS tells you head north or head south. So head is that, right? Head means dirigirse. So you can use sometimes head instead of go, right? So, well, the next one is a penknife, number 7. Which one is penknife?
H.
Letter H.
H. Do you have a penknife?
I
used
got
to
it.
No.
No, you don't have a
Yes,
penknife?
teacher.
Looks useful, right? Many
Yes.
things. Okay, very well. And very important to travel. Flashlight. Which one is the flashlight?
Letter F.
F.
Letter F. And you light. The verb is light. Light. Light is iluminar. También se puede utilizar como verbo. So can you light me? Can you light here? Okay. Then we have the first aid kit. It's number 9.
Letter D.
Very well. So do you think we need another thing to travel? Do we need another thing? What would you pack if you were? We have this expression, right? In English is a walkabout. Walkabout. No sé si han escuchado esa expresión. So walkabout is, well, it's like a kind of not very common activity. So usually you do it with a guide, but real walkabouts are done without any guide. A walkabout is going to the very forest, to the wildest parts, or to the desert, and to, well, just survive by your own means for, it can be usually weeks, can be for some weeks, right? And you try to survive in your nature just with the essentials. So people get away from, it's like camping, but wilder, right? Walkabout is similar a acampar, pero es más salvaje, right? So you are not close to places where people are. You try to go to very wild places. It can be a natural park or something, but actually it's more like in the very nature. And well, people just survive with their own means, right? Entonces, esta experiencia se llama walkabout. So it's like, I have a picture here. Bueno, también dice que es un rito de iniciación para, okay, here it says, right? Para los hombres en la cultura de aborígenes australianos, al que se someten en el periodo de la adolescencia y viven en el desierto hasta 6 meses. So yeah, that's the walkabout. It's just trying to survive in a desertic, dangerous place. Very well. So now that we answer these, and now you have to give me ideas. What would you take with you, right? What would you pack up, and pacar? What would you pack up if you were in the mountains? Tell me ideas. For example, for instance, I will pack my beanie. The beanie es el gorrito para cubrirte las orejas y la cabeza. I would take a beanie. What would you take to go to the mountains?
A boat.
Okay, very well. Gloves. What else would you take with you? Give me any other ideas.
Maybe gloves. Okay, very well. Maybe you would also need crampons. I'm going to show you this. This one, I used it when I was walking in the mountains and it was snowy. They are called crampons. Do you know the crampons? So usually when the snow, and you can put them on your boots, and you can walk. Although some people also use chains. And these are the crampons. Especially if they are snowy mountains, I would use these. Okay, which one would you use in a forest at night? I want to give you an idea. For mosquito.
Mosquito repellent.
Yeah, repellent. Yeah, that's horrible when you are in the forest and there are lots of mosquitoes trying to eat you. Okay, what else would you take in a forest at night?
Jacket.
Jacket, what else?
Flashlight.
Okay.
flashlight. I would take marshmallows. You know, marshmallows.
Sleeping.
A sleeping bag. Yeah. I don't know, maybe your tent. La casa de acampar, you say tent. Right? A tent. Well, that one is more like a circus, but you understand. In the middle of a city. I don't know. Survival in the middle of a city. Okay, imagine that you are in the city and you don't have any money all of a sudden. No, actually that doesn't make sense, but well, I don't know. I don't know if it will be difficult to survive in the middle of a city unless it's a dangerous city, don't you think so? Okay, guys, well, so let's see, we're going to complete this paragraph and we need to use the past simple or the past perfect. Okay, how can we know? Well, usually the simple past will tell you when it happened, right? For example, last night. Entonces, last night es un indicador de que, bueno, hay que utilizar pasado simple because it's a completed action in the past. Okay, so I would like to ask Fernando if you can read from here and you can read from I to wall. Please, let's go. Okay, maybe it's not here. Please help me, Nubia. Can you read from I to wall?
Yes. I saw an interesting movie last night. It was the true story of a guy named Aaron Ralston. He was alone in a canyon in a national park. A large rock fall on his right
Fall
hand,
is in present. In past,
fallen.
Fell.
fell. And if you want to use the past perfect, you need to use the past participle, which is fallen.
Okay.
Well, in this case, I think we can use fell, right? Porque aquí nada nos indica de utilizarlo antes de otra acción. Entonces, una gran roca cayó en su mano y su mano se atascó entre la roca y el muro. This is a movie. If I remember well, it's a movie. Well, the text is saying that it's a movie, but this is an actual movie. No sé si es esta, pero creo que es una película. I don't know, it's like 24 hours, algo se llama como 24 horas. Movie. 24 hours to live. No. Canyon. A ver si me aparece. No, se llama así, 127 hours. So the guy was exploring the Great Canyon and yeah, so his hand gets stuck. Se le atasca su mano, right? Have you watched this movie? ¿Han visto esta película?
No, teacher.
Watch it, it's very interesting. And I think it's based on a real story. Yeah, it's real. It's very, very interesting because, well, here they will tell us, right? Okay, a large rock fell on his hand. Please, can you continue reading, please, Ghostly? Unfortunately.
Yes. Unfortunately, before he left home.
Exactly. Before he left
home, he not tell his friends or family where he
what
was
do you think?
going.
Should we use the simple past or the past perfect?
I think that past perfect.
Exactly. So
Sería entonces he not tell he doesn't tell.
He hadn't.
Okay, he hadn't.
And tell
His
in past
friend-
participle. Tell in past participle, so we say tell.
Tell.
The past is
Tell.
told. Yeah, very well. He hadn't told. Entonces, no, antes de que se fuera, no le había dicho a su familia y amigos a dónde iba. So he hadn't told. Very well. Can you continue?
He hadn't told his friends or family when he was going.
Okay, please, Miguel, can you continue reading from he?
They didn't know he was lost. He was in the canyon for 5 days. He drank all his water already. And
because we have already, so maybe it's a good moment to use the past perfect.
Okay. And he had drunk all his water already, and he had ate all his
I think
food,
we could also use had eaten.
had eaten. Okay. And he had eaten food when he had an idea.
Yeah, so that makes sense, right? So it says, había bebido toda su agua y había comido toda su comida cuando se le ocurrió una idea. So yeah, this means that these things happened before he had the idea. That's why we use the past perfect. Okay, thank you, Heidi. Please continue reading from he to free.
Yes, teacher. He brought along a small chicken cat. So he had used.
Okay, let's see. He brought along a small
chicken cat. So he had used it to cut off his arm.
Okay, so he used it very well.
It was terrible.
Okay, so the first in number 7, I think we should use the past perfect too.
Okay. He had.
Sorry, this one was here.
He had. Oh, yeah.
Like this, right? He had brought.
He had brought along a small chipped knife. So he used it to cut off his arm. It was terrible, but he did it.
Yeah. So it's the same movie that I told you. They're talking about the movie. Yeah, because he cut his arm. Because there was a rock, so he couldn't escape. He would have died. So the thing that he did is he had to cut his arm to survive. So yeah, sí, se cortó el brazo para poder sobrevivir. Well, that's kind of creepy. Okay. Yeah, it was terrible, but he did it. He was free. Please continue, Fernando. Or maybe Ghostly, please. Desde he hasta story. Vamos a terminar.
Okay. Teacher, ¿dijo mi nombre? Perdón.
Yes, Ghostly, please, let's go. From he to story.
Okay. Dice, Dios mío.
Here, okay.
Okay. He started walking and found a family in the park after they gave him some water. They has called emergency service, He
I think here we're
survived.
going to use past perfect, and here we're going to use simple past. So after they,
Past perfect.
past perfect.
They gave. GABE or no?
Okay, what is the auxiliary verb in the past perfect?
As the does.
No, does is simple present.
Ay,
Yeah.
sí es cierto. Es el was verb.
No, we're using it here. Don't worry, it says hadn't,
They
had,
It's had gave.
given. Had given. Yeah, so this means el had aquí significa había, right? Había bebido, había comido, había dado, la familia le había dado algo de agua.
Entonces
So,
ahí no le cambio a gave. Porque ya está el had.
no. In this case, had is the same for all the pronouns. It's I had, you had, he had, etc.
Okay.
And number 10 is simple past.
They call it.
Very well. They called
Emergency service. He survived. It was a very exciting story.
Excellent. Okay, guys. Well, so tomorrow we continue. So thank you so much for joining us.